Welcome to the Produce Industry Podcast, your weekly download on current events, trends, market reports, and community discussions. Join us each week from Tampa, Florida, as we cover all aspects of the produce supply chain industry. Ladies and gentlemen, here's your host, my boy, the voice of the produce industry, Patrick Kelly.
What is up, produce people, and welcome back to the Produce Industry Podcast, your weekly dose of news, connections, stories, and fresh perspectives from across the supply chain. I'm Ross Nelson, also known as the Produce Boss, and I'm stepping in today for our host, my friend, our friend, and the original Little Citrus himself, Patrick Kelly. I'm coming you straight out of Indianapolis, Indiana. Now, you may be wondering, where the heck is Patrick at? He's not on vacation. He's not at a trade show. He's not in the studio in Tampa this week. That's right. He is on the road in the Dominican Republic, hiking toward the summit of Pico Duarte, the tallest mountain in the Caribbean, for the fourth year in a row. Can you believe that? 4 years now, and he's doing it. I did it with him 2 years ago, and we had an amazing experience. And the reason he's doing it is for our friends at Continental Fresh and the incredible nonprofit Blue Missions to support their continued work in clean water and sanitation for rural communities across the DR. Now, this isn't just any hike, it's a purpose driven trek. It's about bringing clean water, dignity, and opportunities to families who need it most. And Patrick is out there right now, along with a group of industry friends, climbing over a 10,000 feet of elevation, hiking 27 plus miles, camping in the mountains, and doing it all to support the cause of water for all. Now, today, we're going to celebrate that mission. We're going to talk about this trek, the means, and we're shining a light on the sponsors and friends and folks who helped make this possible. Once again, he is out there on a trek, and we want to thank all of the sponsors of the show and to the event of Water for All. Now, you're probably wondering, what the heck is Water for All? So let's start with some context. If you've followed Patrick over the years, you know this isn't a one time charity project. This is his fourth year supporting the Water for All cause and everything they do, which was created by Continental Fresh CEO Albert Perez and Blue Missions CEO Danny Rodriguez, whose passion for giving back is truly unmatched. And what these gentlemen are doing down there is truly incredible. Having the opportunity a few years ago to see this in person and everything they're doing is just an amazing experience. I can't wait for the day to be able to go back. Now, according to Continental Fresh, the initiatives provide sustainable water solutions to communities that lack access to clean, safe drinking water. Every mile hiked and every dollar raised leads to actual projects, pipelines, filtration systems, infrastructure built in partnership with Blue Missions Group. And for anyone new to Blue Missions, they are a nonprofit that focuses on gravity fed water systems, sanitation projects, sustainable community development, and empowering local leaders, which is very important. Their work is hands on, long lasting, and built with the communities they serve. And let me tell you, it is hands on. They're doing hard work, and these folks are now getting fresh water into their homes, which they never had before. Truly amazing. Each year, business leaders, students, families, and produce industry friends come together for the Pico Duarte Trek. This is a 4 day hike through national parks, forests, rugged trails, river crossings, and finally a sunrise at the highest peak in the Caribbean. And let me tell you, folks, yes, it's as tense as it sounds. Now, I can personally say that because I have been there. I had the opportunity to travel to the Dominican Republic with Blue Missions myself. The year I went, we faced flooding so heavily that we couldn't safely get to Pico Duarte. So instead, they modified it for us. We trekked through another state park, hiking into deep parts of the island. And let me tell you, it was transformative. Having the time to hike, see how beautiful the country is, go by different produce fields. I got to see bananas and squash and everything else, and visit these communities that are there to support one another and how meaningful the water access is. I've touched on this, but seeing the 80-year-old gentleman having water for the first time in his house was truly an amazing experience and one that makes you appreciate everything that we have today. Now, Patrick's group this year, they're not just hiking, they're carrying the weight of a cause on their backs, and they're making a real difference. So, with that, let's take a quick break and hear from one of our wonderful sponsors, and we'll be back right after this.
120 years ago, in Groningen, the Netherlands, a small produce business began, trading fresh local fruits. By the 1930s, the Vandenberg family moved to Rotterdam, Europe's burgeoning fruit hub. But when the 1940s brought turmoil, they fled to America, rebuilding their legacy in fresh produce. In 1958, Jack Vandenberg became a trailblazer, importing fresh Chilean fruit to the US, opening doors to global flavors. Today, that spirit of growth and innovation continues, with sustainable packaging, carbon footprint tracking, and the finest fruit varieties. We're redefining freshness for the future. Family, fresh, innovation, celebrating a legacy 120 years in the making. This is Jack Vandenberg.
All right, folks, we're back, and none of this happens without support. So, with that, let's give some love to a few of the incredible sponsors behind Patrick's Trek this year. Our first huge shout out goes out to Golden Star Citrus, who continues to stand behind community efforts that drive real impact. Next, we move to Grocery Outlet, helping bring fresh produce to families across the nation and expanding their support into global humanitarian work. To Market Basket, a true partner committed to community, families, and giving back. And Thanks Dreams, whose purpose driven mission aligns perfectly with this kind of support. And they were part of the year that I hiked. So thanks, Dreams. Greatly appreciated. And of course, all the many individual sponsors, friends, and supporters who contributed, from industry leaders to listeners of this podcast. Every dollar counts, every step counts. I know I gave my donation. This trek represents, for many hikers, a journey that begins long before their boots hit the ground in the Dominican Republic. It starts with fundraising, with learning about the communities they're going to be supporting, and understanding the challenges families face when clean drinking water isn't a given, it's a privilege. And that's something that I really embraced and learned about in my time going on this trek a few years ago, was that so many are not as fortunate as us. And it's this kind of trek that makes you open your eyes, open your hearts, and understand what other people in the world are going through, what they have that we don't, what they don't have that we do, and all of that. I was really taken back by their sense of community, the family. I mean, even those that had very little were willing to give to those of us and share. I just still think back to that trek and amazed at everything I learned, experienced, and was a part of. And with that, Blue Missions estimates that hundreds of millions of people worldwide lack reliable access to clean water. That means walking miles each day, carrying buckets, missing schools, facing health risks, and living with uncertainty. And we are seeing more and more of this come to light. You know, there's many people that are bringing things. If you follow YouTube, you see Mr. Beast. He's got also his philanthropy channel. There's different things he's doing over there in Africa for water. There's all sorts of initiatives going on around the globe. The Water for All initiative helps solve that in a sustainable way. Local community involvement, long term infrastructure, systems built to last generations, and support from companies who care. This is why the produce industry's involvement matters. Our industry touches farms, families, and fields in countries around the world. We depend on water. Our crops depend on water. Our health depends on water. Communities depend on water to be healthy. And when leaders like Patrick and Albert Perez, Continental Fresh, and many others supporting brands step up, the ripple effect is real. Now, Patrick's been very open online about what this trek means to him. If you've seen it, he's got some different things he's touched on and talked about, posted. This is a service to him, it's a legacy. And this year, he is doing alongside his family members, his wonderful wife, Renee, and his oldest son, Ty. They are hiking this together as a family, making the climb not just meaningful, but memorable. And that's what this is all about, passing purpose to the next generation. And, I'm looking for the opportunity and time for myself to get back and be able to embrace this, check it all out, and do what is needed to support for families and everything that's going on. And I was able to touch base with Patrick and got a quick note from him when I spoke to him. He was checking in with me from the mountains of the Dominican, making sure that things are going well. We're getting ready for a fantastic Thanksgiving holiday. And he wanted to say this: they aren't just hiking there because they have to, they're doing it there because they want to. Every step they take up this mountain represents a family that used to walk miles every day just to access clean water. Up in the mountains, when his legs are burning and the air is getting thinner, he is going to remind himself that nothing compares to what many families are facing daily for just being able to survive. Again, this is his fourth year on the trek, but this time it's hitting very, very differently. He's there, as I mentioned, with his wife and son, and he is able to watch his family climb for other families. How powerful is that? Just putting that into perspective is incredible to be able to give back. You know, Patrick and I talked. I'm going to see about how my schedule lines out. Maybe my son Ryan and I can tag along and do this next year and climb for those. And again, just giving, he wanted to give another shout out to the wonderful sponsors that help support him in this cause: Golden Star Citrus, Grocery Outlet, Market Basket, Think Streams, Continental Fresh, Blue Missions, and everybody who donated. He appreciates it. He says, "Thank you. You're not just helping him hike, you're helping him deliver clean water, dignity, and hope to those communities who so deserve it." Up in the mountains, they are walking the miles so others can walk into a better life. And with that, let's take our next break. All right, folks, we are back and we are just going to walk through how you can join in the future Patrick, Continental Fresh, and Blue Missions on the 2026 trek. Now, you may be saying, you may be thinking, hey, this really pulled at some heartstrings. I want to be a part of this. How can my organization get involved? I want my family to experience something bigger than just ourselves, just what we have such the honor and privilege in this wonderful country that we live in. Well, hey, there's some great news for you. You can join the trek. Each year, Blue Missions and Continental Fresh open up the Pico Duarte Summit for Water to new participants. And some participants come back, some don't. That's just how it goes. And you can sign up as an individual, you can sign up to bring a group, and you can involve your company or sponsor someone that you want to go but doesn't have the means. And with that, you can expect 4 days of hiking, real community impact, sleeping under the stars, whether that's warm, whether that's cold. Mother Nature will determine that. Emotional, physical, and mental growth. And I can assure you, you have all of those. You get to meet amazing people from across the industry. You develop new friends, get to meet new connections, and you get to experience something that is going to be life changing. And I can all assure you that those come from this experience. Getting to be with the group in the Dominican Republic is a way of experiencing something you will never ever get to experience. And you get to have great guides, great folks that are leading you through this, so it is stressful, but it's less stressful because you're in a group and you've got many people experiencing the same thing. The hiking you get to do kind of more independently if you're wanting to be more on your own or you want to be with everybody. We're supporting there. No person gets left behind. You get to have the impact of seeing these communities, going to experience the towns that were just part of some Blue Missions water projects. You get to have a taste of the food and experience the amazing culture of the Dominican Republic. Get to sleep in all sorts of new experiences and areas. And what's better than a physical challenge right before Thanksgiving? Coming back rejuvenated, hungry, and thankful. I mean, what is a better experience to have with this? And I want to touch on again the last part. It is very life changing. I have to tell you, I've been talking on my own experiences. This trek changes you. You get to come down from that mountain with a new appreciation of life, water, and purpose. Patrick has said this time and time again. This trek grounds him. It is something he looks forward to each year. It's his time to unplug, disconnect, get away, reconnect with nature and great folks. And as it reminds him, it should remind us all, why do we do what we do? And having the ability to see him do this year after year, something that he looks forward to, inspires me and should inspire all of us. Now, you may be saying, what is this all about? How can we be a part of it? And, it's Thanksgiving week. We have to talk about being thankful from everybody in this wonderful industry that we're in, listeners from far and beyond. What are you thankful for this Thanksgiving? I know I'm thankful for my family, the wonderful food that we get to have. Coming from my own, we're going to get to go up to Michigan on the family farm where I grew up, see some family, enjoy a great meal. If you listen to any of my Fresh from the Field Fridays, I touch on a little bit of how we do Thanksgiving. My mom is not with us, so we celebrate a lot with my dad and that side of the family. And we do it differently. We take convenience where we can. We try to make it as simple so that we can all enjoy the day in our way. And we're really looking forward to that this year. Hopefully, everyone listening is going to enjoy and be thankful on this wonderful Thanksgiving week. And there's always ways that you can do, whether you choose to do this mission, you choose to work in a soup kitchen or anything and give back. It's an important time of year to think about how can you be thankful and give back. Now, before we wrap, here's how some actions can be taken. One, you can donate directly to Blue Missions, and your contributions will support freshwater systems, sanitation projects, and community programs. We'll put a link in the description below. Check it out. Second, support the Water for All initiative. Continental Fresh allocates resources year round to expand water access. Every donation helps build more pipelines, more tanks, and more infrastructure. Third, you could join next year's trek. Go to bluemissions.org and or follow Continental Fresh and Patrick Kelly, Lil Citrus for announcements. Slots fill fast, and the experience is worth every step and climb on that mountain. Fourth, you could sponsor a hiker or a company team. You can make your impact known without ever having to step a foot into the Dominican on the mountain, but you can support someone who will lace those boots up and make the climb. To everyone supporting Patrick this week, thank you. To all the sponsors, we appreciate you. Thank you. To Blue Missions and the Continental Fresh team, thank you for reminding us that our industry isn't just about produce, it's about people, it's about water for all. Patrick will be back next week with stories from the mountain, his Thanksgiving feast, all that he's thankful for. He'll have some special guests and much more. Until then, I'm Ross, the produce boss. You can catch me weekly on Fresh from the Field Fridays with my man, Dan the Produce Man. I am signing off. I'm going to use my tagline: stay fresh, keep growing, and let produce lead the way. But remind, it's Thanksgiving week. We have to stay fresh. Enjoy the fresh produce. Stay kind. Be thankful and support something bigger than yourself. Everybody, have a great Thanksgiving. We'll catch you in the fields and on the horizon.